biggest lesson is just have fun with it. You know, it's like, yeah, it can be serious to get to your goals, but I think that's kind of where a lot of things get lost in translation, is that this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And if you're not having fun doing it, it's probably not meant for you.
Yeah.
I genuinely do it because I enjoy it and I have fun doing it. If one day I woke up and the news broke out that I couldn't compete, would it be upsetting? Sure. But would my entire world fall apart? No. You know, like I've built a life outside of just competing in itself, and my habits would still be there too. I just do it because it's fun.
What's up, everyone? Jomin here, your host for RVA Iron Talk, aka I'm Jimin, and very excited. It's been a while. Very excited for this new episode with you guys. I'm here with a special guest today. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm KD, or Kayla Decker, as you will.
That's right. So, Kayla, for those that don't know you yet, who is Kayla and what should they know about you?
Oh, gosh. What do you want to know?
Loaded question, right off the start.
Literally. I am an NPC figure competitor. I just moved to Richmond about 3 years ago and have been a member here at RVA Iron for about 3 years as well. And I have been competing actively for also 3 years. So there you are. I am an online fitness coach. That's my full-time job. I coach primarily women, and right now I have about 52 women on my roster, and I was able to completely close that off now and hire on another coach with my partner, so that way I can put more focus into what I like to do, which is bodybuilding.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, when did bodybuilding become more than just, I guess, a hobby or something you did in the gym for you?
So when I first started my fitness journey, it was way back in high school. And honestly, when I first started, I had just done dance my entire life. I didn't have a team necessarily I was a part of, other than maybe competitive dance teams that I had joined here and there. But I didn't really find my true passion in life outside of just fun hobbies of like singing and dancing. Okay. So I went to the gym for the first time and fell in love with it. And I went headfirst into that. I thought it was the coolest place to be. And I can get more into that if you want another time. But once I started to dip my toe in the waters of fitness, I found myself personal training in a gym, and the people around me were pushing me to compete. Yeah. And I actually prepped, as you will, for my first bodybuilding competition when I was only 18 years old. Wow. And I was going to do the bikini division, and I knew nothing about bodybuilding. I didn't even have like the right coach, nothing like that. I remember Googling online like bodybuilding coach, and it was the first girl that popped up. It was very asynchronous, like didn't really talk with her much. And I mean, I was severely under eating, severely overtraining, and I got skinny real quick and also had a mental breakdown. So I actually hated bodybuilding for years. Okay. I thought it was such an unhealthy sport. Anytime someone would ask me about it, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. Bodybuilding's awful. And I was just a lifestyle fitness person for years and years. After I graduated college, though, someone introduced me to bodybuilding again, and I was already working with a coach at that point. Okay. But he said to me, he goes, why don't you try competing? You already do all the same things. Yeah. You eat like a bodybuilder, you train like a bodybuilder, you live like a bodybuilder. Yeah. Go try it out now that you're older. Pick a better division that you actually like vibe with, instead of just one that you picked off of a whim from not knowing much about the sport. And we went from there, and the rest has been history. I just tried it out, fell in love with it, and stuck with it because it was so much fun. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I know that first experience that you talked about where it was like, man, I hate this, to like now it's your life. That's your lifestyle. This is your job. This is your career. Now you're helping other people do it. What's like the biggest advice that you give them to kind of help them not get in that, hate relationship with what you do?
So competing in itself, I think, is niche. I don't think that in order to bodybuild, you have to have the competitive side of it in there. I think that you should already live the lifestyle of a bodybuilder before you decide you want to compete, because it's its own ball game at that point. If you don't already eat like a bodybuilder, train like a bodybuilder, live the lifestyle of a bodybuilder, competing is going to be hell for you. It is not
Yeah.
going to be fun. And it could just be a fun challenge, a one-off, sure.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to get into the sport seriously,
Right.
definitely just see if it works for your lifestyle first, because it needs to translate in your off season as well of
Yeah.
just prepping for a show.
Would you say you've always had that lifestyle, like that fitness lifestyle? Is that why you've been able to transition to that? I guess I don't want to say easily, but maybe a little bit easier than other people.
Sure. I have always been hyper focused on nutrition and training
Okay.
from a very young age. I was overweight through half of elementary school into middle
Really?
school. Yeah.
How much overweight? Now we're at the topic.
I was pretty chubby. I can share
Really?
some photos with you. Yeah, I was the weird
Maybe
fat
Grant
girl.
can clip some. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I was the weird fat girl, and I hope that makes sense as to why I'm so hilarious and funny now.
Hey,
No,
I think personality is everything. So that's awesome. But no
I
way.
started tracking my macros at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And on my fitness pal, I was watching YouTube videos way back when with like Nikki Blackketter and Whitney Simmons and things like that. So
Wow.
it was like way back then. I'd have a notebook at 12 years old where I'd write down the meals of what they ate in a day and how much. And like I thought that's what I needed to do verbatim. And I had a one kettlebell in my basement, and I'd go down and use that damn kettlebell. And on my whiteboard in my room, I'd draw out my calendar and write a progression of how many crunches I was going to do each day, up to 500 crunches, because I thought that's how I was going to get a six pack. But I was dedicated. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fat, weird kid, no more. I am going to be this version of myself. And I've been doing that since I was a little
Wow.
girl.
I love that. That's such a great story, because it obviously shows that the work ethic has always been there, right? 12 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I was doing at 12, but I was probably eating everything at 12. I wasn't like, really, as far as developing, discipline, far from it. So, but take me back to maybe, the first real goal that you had as like a bodybuilder.
Sure. My first sorry, edit that part
Yeah.
out. My first real goal as a bodybuilder, I would say, was just getting onto the stage.
Okay.
So my very first time I competed, I just was really optimistic about the fact of, I want to see if I even like this part of it, because I already lived the lifestyle, but do
Yeah.
I like the competitive side of it? Do I
Wow.
like getting on stage? Do I like putting the tan on, buying the suit,
Yeah.
going through the posing? Like, do I enjoy this? Or am I into this for the wrong reasons? Am I just trying to get unhealthily lean for clout? Am I trying
Yeah.
to prove myself to someone? And once I got on that stage, I felt like that's exactly where I needed to be.
Yeah.
I felt like I was able to inspire others, and not only others, myself
Yeah.
and my childhood self.
Wow.
That was just always chasing being the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So safe to say it was really fun, but that was my first goal, was literally,
Yeah.
Kayla, get on the stage, have fun with it. And I ended up winning the overall at my first
Wow.
show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'd love to ask your why behind everything that you do, and maybe talk about how important that is now, obviously being able to coach others. What is it? How do you explain that to someone that's also kind of getting started?
I've struggled with that question on how to properly answer, like, what is my why? Because I honestly can't tell you. I feel like it's me. Fitness, health, bodybuilding, everything I do is built around this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So my why is that it's what makes me me. I am so passionate about learning nutrition. I'm
Yeah.
so passionate about working out. I'm so passionate about just physical health and chasing to be
Yeah.
better each and every day. And that's just my biggest why, because without any of it, I don't feel like I'd be myself. My
Yeah.
career is around fitness. My relationship is literally built around fitness. My friendships, fitness. My goals in life, fitness. It's like everything has always been geared around fitness and health.
Yeah, I love that. And you mentioned something earlier. You said that it doesn't always have to be competitive with some of the ladies that you coach. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? What do you mean by, when you're coaching somebody, maybe if they're going on a competition, what do you mean by that?
Sure. So actually, I don't like to coach bodybuilders. I don't coach women bodybuilders.
Okay.
I find the passion in helping anywhere from like early 20s to middle-aged women find their purpose and their why, and to take charge of their life and their health. Because a lot of times, we're raised in families that wasn't really provided.
Yeah.
You just you learn from your parents, and if they didn't
Yeah.
lead that lifestyle, then you don't know what to do. And then you get into adulthood and you feel lost and you feel
Yeah.
like you need direction. And I love providing that for
Yeah.
women, because I feel like in the beginning of my fitness journey, going into the gym, somebody did that for me. And so I love to do that for other people.
I love that. And could you maybe mention like who inspired you the most?
Oh
when
gosh,
you
I have a
first...
hilarious story.
Okay, I'd
You
love
want
to
to
hear
hear
it.
about
Yeah,
like my
yeah.
first experience in the gym?
Yes. Let's talk about it.
So everyone's worst fear is going to the gym and being judged, right?
Yes. of
Okay,
course.
so one of the first times I went to the gym, I told you I fell in love with it. And I went with my best friend at the time in high school. It was like a snow day, and she's like, let's just go to the gym. And she got me in on guest pass. We walked into this Gold's gym. I remember walking up to the second level where the cardio machines were, and I looked at the dumbbells in front of me, at like all the people in front of it, and I'm like, that's so badass. I want to do that. And from that moment on, I'm like, what do I need to do to get there? That's when I started like really looking into workout videos and things like that. I'd screenshot Whitney Simmons on YouTube and stuff like that. And I begged my parents to get me a gym membership for Christmas. They were like, nah, you're not even going to
Really?
use it. Like, there's no shot. I begged and I begged and I begged. And that to this day is my favorite Christmas gift I've ever gotten. Wow. They put it in a giant cardboard box with one tiny little Gold's Gym like membership card in it, and I opened it, and the next day they brought me there, got me the gym membership. I was there like every single day.
Wow, that's
every
awesome.
single day. So fun. And so
that's awesome.
I went in by myself one time for the very first time with this card, and I go to the dumbbell section, and I remember exactly what the exercise was. I was trying to do around the world with dumbbells, but I was laying down because Whitney Simmons was laying down, and I had a screenshot of it on my iPod Touch, and I literally went to do the circle, and I probably looked like a dying fish. It was so bad. This guy comes up and just starts hysterically laughing at me.
Really?
Hysterically. And I sat up and I'm like, what? And he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm training shoulders. And he's like, no, you're not. And I was so embarrassed.
Oh,
I just remember, this is everyone's worst nightmare.
Right.
And he goes, all right, let me show you what to actually do. And he showed me like 3 shoulder exercises. It was a shoulder press, a lateral raise, and maybe like an Arnold press or something.
Yeah.
And I did those for 3 sets. My arms were smoked. I could not raise my arms for like 2 weeks after that, okay? But turns out that guy worked there, and he had been working out, so he was in normal clothes, in his own clothes. But every time I'd walk in after that, I'd be like, all right, Larry, what's on the menu for today? And he would teach me like a lower body workout I could do. He taught me like a HIIT cardio workout I could do. And it was just, that's what got me started. And I to this day do not know where Larry is. So shout out Larry.
Wow.
I shout him out every time I talk about him. But he genuinely is the reason why I am here.
Wow.
Where I am. Because without him, I would have been that dying fish right there on the bench with no direction.
That's awesome. And I think, I mean, from that worst nightmare, everybody's nightmare is again to be judged at the gym. And you're like, save me, right? But what do you think bodybuilding gave you that you weren't getting anywhere else?
There is a bug attacking me. I don't know. But bodybuilding, what bodybuilding gave me that
you weren't getting anywhere else,
that I wasn't getting anywhere else, community, like
Talk
genuine people in my life. I really struggled with friendships after, having the childhood I did with being bullied, and then high school I was too skinny, and then you go to college and you're trying to find your purpose in life, and you get into partying, things like that. And it's not that any of these people were bad people, they just weren't my people, and I couldn't find where I belonged. I didn't find my niche, my community, until I started going to private gyms like RVA Iron, and the community that's opened itself up to me, it's literally here because I bodybuild. I'm a bodybuilder, and that's just something I wouldn't have been able to find without it.
That's huge. Now, do you think you would be the same person today if you never found that community or that bodybuilding, from bodybuilding?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. I think that, I mean, I'm a big believer in God, and I think that He genuinely steers me in my direction and my path and where I'm going. And it was definitely in my script to be a bodybuilder and be with the community I am, because it's also gotten me closer to God and my purpose.
Is that because of the people you met or because of challenges, or why do you think that?
Definitely challenges. I mean, people come and go, and you go through certain life situations that teach you lessons.
Yeah.
But all of that has been built around my goal and just chasing where I want to be in bodybuilding.
Yeah. Was there any instance that you were unsure about the path that you were in, and maybe talk about, what you did or how you handled that situation?
You mean with bodybuilding, like if there's
Yeah.
ever been a time where I wanted to give up type of deal?
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. I think that it can be really challenging if you are surrounded by the wrong people to do the sport. Again, it's not built for everyone. And if you're surrounding yourself with people that bring you down, and constantly belittle you, it can be really hard to have that safe space to go through everything and not feel stressed out.
Yeah.
After the second time I competed, I did a regional show and a national show, and
Okay.
my reverse was awful. I gained 30 pounds within a month because I was going through a really bad time. Let's leave it at that. And I was around the wrong people. I was surrounding myself with the wrong community, the wrong people. And I almost gave up right then and there. But around that time is also when I found the coach I'm working with now. And I was able to I came back into RVA Iron and found the community I did. And I've
Yeah.
been nothing but uplifted and supported. And that's why I'm at this point now. And
Yeah.
I think it can be really easy to want to give up when you haven't placed the way that you wanted to as well. You put so much time and dedication into your prep and
Right.
trying to cross your T's and dot your I's.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't look like you're first, like
Yeah.
you're not getting first. It's
Right.
really hard to like come in exactly the way that the judges need you and want you when you don't even
Right.
know what that's
Right.
going to look like.
Yeah. That's huge.
So when you get to the show and you've given it all you've got, it's really easy to go into that mindset of like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just not meant for this. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not good enough for this. But it's really important, like I said, to surround yourself with the right people,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that are going to help get you out of that.
Right.
This last show that I did, this national show, so much fun. It was in Charleston, and I got second in my class.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm able to be really, really happy about that now. But the second I got that after my show, of course I'm sitting there going, am I meant for this? Like, I got second at a national show. I'm shooting for first. It's now, and it's really easy to go down that doom
Right.
spiral.
Yeah.
Because you just spent months and
Right.
months
Yeah.
trying your best to get first. But at the end of the day, I had to take a step back. I'm like, this just wasn't my moment.
Right.
It will come, but it just wasn't this time. And I still placed better than I did the last time I competed. And look at all the people that are around me. Look at where I am in my life. Like, there's
Yeah.
so much more to appreciate in this moment
Yeah.
than just the fact that I didn't get the placement that I wanted.
That's
How
so
silly
good.
of me,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's such a great advice.
Thank you.
And I think that helps with like coping with, that mentality.
For sure.
Because I think we could be our worst critics, right?
Yes.
And that on the other side of that, why can't we be the best critics as well of ourselves, right? We could be the best critic of other people, and but then when it comes to ourselves, we're so hard on ourselves. So
Yeah.
I love that. Now, for the people that see the physique, they see the videos, you on stage, you competing, right? Talk about who Kayla is. Talk about maybe your day-to-day routine. What kind of take us through like what a day looks like for you.
Okay. Well, I would love to say that each of my days look the same, but at this point, I juggle so many different things because I just want to be successful. I want to reach my fullest potential in all areas of my life.
I love that.
And I'm at the perfect spot in my life to be able to do that. So I travel a lot. And one thing that always stays consistent is the gym and my nutrition.
Yeah.
So right now I am creative director for Violate the Dress Code, which is really
Love it.
exciting.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you. I travel a lot for that with photo shoots and just collaborative ideas there. And then I also am a coach for Total Package.
Mm-hmm.
So my partner actually lives in California. I was just there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then I also am a bodybuilder, which is kind of its own full-time job
Right,
in its own way. So my day-to-day consists of me waking up, me coming to train, always getting in my meals at specific days, specific times of the day. You know, it's like 9:30, 12:30, 3:30, 6:30, 9:30.
You have an alarm that goes off?
No,
You
my body at this
just already
point,
have it.
like my blood sugar drops. I know it is time to eat. Okay, girl needs to eat. And I usually work out at the same time every day. You know, I train with my coach Quentin, who is the trainer here. Twice a week, usually at 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday. And along with that, got to fit family, friends in there.
Right.
And then also time to just decompress and not want to
Yeah.
rip all my hair out. So all this is to say, there is a lot of structure and routine there, of course, but then there's also a lot of things that have to fluctuate and
Yeah.
change depending on what job demands more of me that day.
Right. Yeah. How do you do that? That's a lot.
I don't know.
You just mentioned 10,000. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. I guess I'm
Oh,
really
and I
not that
didn't even
busy.
mention my social media.
Right.
That's also, I've also been taking that seriously lately. And that's just been fun because I can just be my authentic, goofy self. I've decided that everyone is preying on my downfall because the videos that do the best are the ones that are the most unhinged and just stupid that I
That's
put zero
hilarious.
thought into. Like me trying on dresses. Who'd
I
have
saw
thought?
that video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Millions of views.
There's
Oh,
3
Mario.
of them that have like
Really?
21 million views. And I'm like, y'all literally just are preying on my downfall. But
That's
thank you.
hilarious. That's
I'm
hilarious.
so glad you enjoy.
You had mentioned Quinn, who's your new coach.
Yeah.
Right? How important would you say it is to have that right coach? You know, you being in the industry, been in for a while. This is what you do. This is your full-time job. I'd like you to kind of talk a little bit about maybe that guidance, that coach protege or coach student relationship, and how that helps you with what you do.
Sure. So it's super important because without my first coach, I wouldn't be a bodybuilder.
Huge.
You know, I worked with
So
him for almost a year before I decided I wanted to compete because I built that relationship with him.
Yeah.
And he was able to give me the direction I needed. It was consistent check-ins.
Yeah.
It gave me something to do with purpose and direction instead of just guessing.
money.
And I felt like
Yeah.
I was bettering myself, you
That's
know?
so good. Yeah.
So he's also the one that provided me with the support to be able to compete the first time, to be there the second time, to teach me everything I knew up to that point. And then Quentin was the next step, and he was able to coach me in person. He was able to really coach me through movements, how to push myself to true failure, because a lot of times people don't even know what the heck that really means until you go to it.
That's true.
And, you know, he's just been that avid support for me the last almost 2 years now. I've been working with him of just having that in-person support and building that relationship in person and the community that's opened up through that as well.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the daily things or maybe things that you do often or something you do a lot that you think a lot of people aren't willing to do?
You know, I hate questions like that because I don't like to be this person that's like, oh, I'm so different from the rest.
Yeah.
You know, I don't try to hold myself up as like this like better person because I think anyone can be the best that they can be if they just have someone to help them unlock that version of themselves. But I think that, you know, having the chaos of my life of just having so many jobs, maybe that's something to a lot of people don't have the ability to do that. You know, they might have interests in so many niches and different things, but they don't have that direction. So I guess I would just say that.
Yeah. And something I noticed with just you saying that was that also like your willingness to, you know, be guided. Right.
Oh yeah. I love
think,
to learn.
Yeah. That's so awesome. And would you say that makes a big difference too, even with you now coaching other people?
For sure. I think that, there's always a barrier there too. When you're really eager to learn, sometimes it can come off like you're stubborn or you're all knowing, when in reality, I like to understand the why behind everything.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
I ask so many questions. I like people to elaborate as to their reasonings on things. And it can open so many doors that you don't even know just by sparking conversations with people based on their interests.
Wow, that's so good.
Yeah.
I love that. And now walk us through maybe the current split, right?
Okay.
What's the workout split now?
So right now I'm in my off season and we're prioritizing adding width to my upper body. My feedback from the judges this last season was that everything was perfect. All like my upper body wasn't smaller than my lower by any means. I just needed more size overall. And that was like the best feedback you can get because
That's good.
okay, I'm small. I just need to get bigger, but it's not like my waist is giant or anything I can't fix.
Yeah.
So we're really prioritizing upper body width because my legs like to put size on if I sneeze. So I have two.
I wish I
lower
had that problem.
Listen, you do until it's summer and then you're in shorts all the time. And it's like, gosh. But I do 2 lower body days a week and 3 upper, and it usually consists of a hamstring focused day with glutes, and then the next day will be like back and delts because those are the main focuses of my upper body. Then I'll rest, and then I'll have a quad and glutes focused day. Then I'll have like a delts and arms focused day with occasional chest just to make sure I don't have any muscle imbalances. And then a back and delt day again, or back and arm day, just depending on which muscle groups I really needed to hit a second time that week.
Now, what do you think is a workout or maybe a hyper-focused muscle that a lot of people make a mistake on focusing too much on when they're prepping or maybe off season?
I think it really depends on your division.
Okay.
If you don't know what specifics or what specific muscle groups are focused on in your division and you're training the wrong muscle groups, that's your downfall. If I was a bikini athlete, I would not be training back the way that I do, but I would be really focusing on, glute development and delt development because those are the strengths of that. You know what I mean? So it's not, I can't even say like one specific body group is hyper focused more than the other. It really depends on your division.
Just understanding what it is you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, that's huge. What do you think is the biggest mistake as far as nutrition wise that people make when they're prepping or off season, or maybe some of the mistakes you've made as far as nutrition goes?
Sure. Well, I can confidently say that a huge mistake is under eating too quickly. Because if you're in prep and you start taking your food away really quickly, then what happens when you're, 10 weeks out and your food's already super low? Like, you're going to have to hammer cardio and other things, and you're going to plateau eventually, and it's just recipe for disaster. So you definitely don't want to jump the gun there. Off season is putting your food back in too soon. I think that we did a really good reverse this last time after my show of just steadily increasing, and not every week either. There'd be some weeks where we just repeated it because my body needed a second for hunger to catch up. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
It's just no rushing either way. When prep, don't rush too far to get too lean too quickly. On the other hand, off season, don't rush to put your food back up too quickly because you're going to put a whole bunch of weight on that you just don't need.
Yeah, that's money. Biggest misconception about bodybuilding?
That we're all egotistical, self-centered, and that we do it for the wrong what is it? Attention.
Yeah. That's good. That's a really good response. I have a rapid fire question.
Okay.
Just a bunch.
Okay.
Just something that don't overthink. We're just going to fire as we go. Ready?
All right.
All right. Favorite exercise?
Leg press.
Worst exercise?
Oh, I hate Bulgarian split squats.
Me too. Favorite cheat meal?
Sushi or burgers.
Best bodybuilding movie or best movie in general?
The Jurassic series.
Nice.
The original Jurassic series.
Okay, good one. Most underrated supplement?
Underrated, I'd say digestive enzymes.
Most overrated supplement?
Anything that guarantees results too quickly.
Training alone or training with someone?
Alone.
Morning workout, night workout.
Morning.
Bulking or cutting.
The middle phase.
One bodybuilder you would love to train with.
You know, I actually don't idolize anybody per se, so I can't even answer that question. There's a bug
Is that
harassing me.
a bee? I think it's a bee.
That's a moth.
Oh, it's a moth. Sorry. Something. If you could go back to day one, what would you tell yourself?
I'm proud of you.
That's really good. That's such a good response. Now, let's talk about prep for competition.
Okay.
I know you competed. The first time you competed, you said you were in North Carolina?
So the first time I competed, I was in Northern Virginia,
Northern
but the
Virginia.
show was in Maryland.
There it goes. All right. So talk about maybe, from your most recent show that you did and the one prior to that. What would you say was the biggest lesson that you learned? And I guess what was the biggest lesson you learned? And if you were to go back and change something, what would it be? Loaded question.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with if I were to change anything, I wouldn't change anything. I believe that without having some mistakes, you never know what to improve for the next time. And I wouldn't even call them mistakes. They're just things that you can learn from to tweak and do even better the next time. So without failure, you can never appreciate success. And so I wouldn't change a damn thing about any of them. And I'd say, what was the other part of that question?
If you were to, or I guess the biggest lesson that
Yeah.
you learned, and if you were to change anything, what would it be? Which you answered already. So.
Well, biggest lesson is just have fun with it. It's like, it can be serious to get to your goals, but I think that's kind of where a lot of things get lost in translation is that this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
And if you're not
that's
having
good.
fun doing it, it's probably not meant for you.
Yeah.
I genuinely do it because I enjoy it and I have fun doing it. If one day I woke up and the news broke out that I couldn't compete, would it be upsetting? Sure. But would my entire world fall apart? No. I've built a life outside of just competing in itself, and my habits would still be there too. I just do it because it's fun.
Right.
You know?
That's so good.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes too that we overestimate things that we can accomplish if it's a short amount of time, and then we underestimate things that we could do when it comes to like a long period of time.
Sure.
Right. So it might not work out right now. Like you mentioned with the results from your past competition, you were like, man, yes, what could have been better? But you look back and you were like, but this isn't the final me.
Right.
There's still progression. There's still another time.
Yeah.
What would you say if someone's listening right now, they're unhappy with, where they are physically, mentally, or in life in general, and they're thinking about starting, or maybe they're already started, what would you tell them?
I'd say life is not that serious. Like, genuinely, you could wake up tomorrow and decide you wanted to dye your hair jet black and redefine your whole style, and nobody is stopping you. So the only person that's in the way of you reaching your goals is yourself. If you're not happy with where you're at, then you need to do some self-reflecting and just take action. Stop sitting there and drowning in it and take action. Do something towards bettering yourself in any capacity.
That's money. Any shout outs you want to give to sponsors? And
Okay, well, RVA Iron has been
Yes.
nothing but amazing to me, welcoming me in with big old arms, and RVA Iron Nutrition. Thank you so much for sponsoring me as your athlete.
Yes.
I get the best supplements from there, not to mention those buffins.
Yes.
Y'all know me and my buffins.
Absolutely.
I actually met someone the other day that said, "You don't know me, but I've been watching your buffin reviews on Instagram," and it literally made my entire day.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "This is amazing."
That's so good.
And also shout out to Violate the Dress Code. I absolutely love my team. I really could not be where I am now without them and the support that they have, especially Chris. I genuinely appreciate all the opportunity that I've been given there. And lastly, Thank you, Quentin. My coach, Quentin,
Yes.
is absolutely amazing. If y'all haven't even just had a conversation with him here, he's the intimidating looking guy that's actually a softie when you have a conversation with him. Sorry, I'm spilling all your secrets. But he's one of the few genuine people that I feel like I've really just clicked with right off the bat, you know, and he's never steered me wrong. He's always made me feel supported and like I'm progressing in every sense of my career in bodybuilding and just being a really good mentor.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. New episode locked in. Kayla, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for
with your
having
busy
me.
schedule. Squeeze this in.
Yes.
Man, shout out to Grant.
Yes.
He's the man. He's
Shout out Grant,
awesome. Shout out
always.
RVA Iron. I'm so excited for this one. This one's good. This is money.
Thank you.